Yo, what is going on, guys? It's C-Brev. Welcome to another MLB The Show 19 card review. Today I'm going to be going over 97 overall finest Liam Hendriks. This card is obtainable through getting 200 stars for the 9th inning program, or you can buy him off the marketplace. He's currently selling for around 30,000 stubs. So this card was a lot better than I was expecting for a couple of reasons. But something funny I wanted to point out before I went into the review is this is actually the second year in a row that the Oakland A's have gotten a reliever that has a finest card that when the game came out in the beginning of the season, he had a generic windup. So last year was Blake Trinan, this year Liam Hendriks. Both guys had generic windups at the start of the year. That's how unknown both those guys were. But Liam Hendriks just had a crazy good year, and this card actually got a lot better because they went in and updated his windup. I think he has a pretty deceptive windup for what he actually looks like in real life. I think they did a good job replicating it. Essentially, he's like Rob Nen in a lot of ways, even with his delivery, but he hides the ball behind his hip pretty much the entire time until he brings it forward. And I also think his delivery is slightly glitched where the ball doesn't come out quite where his hand is when the pitch is released. So I think improving his delivery actually made this card a lot better, because on the Player of the Month card, his generic delivery was obviously very easy to read. A couple things that made this card better as well is the velocity went up. He can hit 100 miles an hour. His slider can hit 93 miles an hour. And you guys know I'm a big fan of hard sliders, especially being thrown up in the zone versus lefties. I love that pitch. Additionally, his curveball has a ton of movement, a lot more movement than I was expecting. His two-seamer and changeup aren't very good pitches. His two-seamer has virtually no movement, and his changeup doesn't really have that much break either, although it is at a good velocity point to kind of be in between the slider and the curveball. But essentially, I was throwing four-seamer slider most of the time with this card, and then trying to get them to chase on the curveball. Occasionally I'd try to do a first pitch curveball for an easy strike as well. People aren't really expecting the curveball from this card, and it has a lot of break, like I said. So the easiest way for me to review this card is A, he's pretty freaking good. I would put him in the top 10 for relievers on this game. And B, he is very similar in a lot of ways to Rob Nen. Righty, throws 100, hard slider, pretty quick but deceptive delivery. Just instead of a splitter, he's got a changeup, and I think his Liam Hendriks curveball moves a lot more. So that's the best comparison I can give for you guys. I do think this card is slightly better than Rob Nen as well, if you were wondering. So hope that was in depth enough for y'all. You can kind of see how I sequence in the clips after this as well. But as always, we'll rate the card how he rates in the meta, and we'll rate him compared to how much he costs. How he rates in the meta, I'll give him an A-. I think this is a tier 2 reliever and one of the top maybe 7 or 8 right-handed reliever options in the game at this point in the year. And for the price, I'll give him an A, because 30K is actually pretty cheap. A lot of the good relievers are getting up there in price, and so 30K for a reliever that's pretty up there as far as power level is definitely a good deal in my opinion. So I hope y'all enjoyed this card review. Let me know down in the comment section below who you want me to review in the next video. Enjoy the clips after this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Over on the mound and start the home 7. Stepping into the box, Chipper Jones, 0 for 2 on the afternoon so far. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. And a slider just about gets away from him there as it runs in a bit too close for comfort. And he lays off for a ball, 2-1. Now the 2-1. And he fouls this one off. And a check swing here, but he'll hit for the pitcher. And that misses, ball 1. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. All over that one, but a little out in front. Foul ball. 2-1 to Ted Williams now. I tried to jerk that one, and it's 2-2. The 2-2. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue. The 2-2. And And it's fouled away. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. He's set. Here it comes. There's a good breaking ball as it gets the bottom of the zone. Swing and he pops him up. Looks to be playable in foul ground. Bellinger is there, and he's got that all-important first out here to start the ninth. In now, Lou Gehrig. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Lays off 1-0. Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1. One out, nobody on. And that's going to be high. 2-2 now. A swing and a miss for out number 2, and a ball he had no chance of making contact with from the stretch. Here's a strike with the breaking ball. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike. Outside, 2-1. A swing and a ground ball to third. Devers fields it cleanly. Throw in time, and the ball game is